Hey guys, it's Sasha with Rice and Raw, and I just want to come to you guys with this video about things you can do to help speed along your awkward stage in the beginning of starting 80-10-10. I know a lot of people have issues of not losing weight, of gaining weight initially when they don't need to, when they're actually trying to lose weight, and I've come up with like a list over a long time of answering all these questions that seem to be what helped me the most and what I know have helped other people. So I'm going to start off with, let's see, the basics, which is make sure that your salt is low, on the low end. Under 100 or under 1,000 milligrams is where you want to be, where you want to aim for. If you get about like 100 or like, I'm off my numbers today, 1,500, that's okay too, but make sure you try to get it as low as possible. Don't add extra salt to your food. If all this salt is coming from vegetables, that's not the end of the world. So it also depends on where you're getting your salt from, my personal opinion. I do have soy sauce personally. I don't have as much of an issue with water retention with added salt, but of course I do notice the scale going up the next day if I have a salty meal. That's just going to happen to everyone. And also just keep an extra eye out on your fat intake, because sometimes you don't even realize that there's added oils to things. So make your food from scratch, especially in the first couple months. Make your smoothies on your own. Don't rely on the pasteurized juices at the markets, although those are very helpful as a backup plan. Don't be relying on them. And that goes for also, don't rely on juices as much. Don't try to replace a meal with juice. I find that actually has thrown me off big time in the past. I thought I was doing really well, and then I would kind of rebound in like just a couple of days. So that is just something to keep an eye on and to consider. Also, if you are not raw till 4 and say you're eating a cooked high carb vegan lifestyle, that's great. But and I lost predominantly all of my weight eating that way. But to speed it up, if you're able to go raw till 4 or even fully raw if you really want to, I personally don't want to go fully raw, but if that's a goal of yours and you can do it, it's a great thing to try out. But for me, it definitely was not possible when I first started out because I had such an issue with food. So when people are coming from a disordered eating background, I do suggest taking your time. Don't just jump into 100% fully raw, doing everything to the T, because that can go two different ways. You can become orthorexic because you already have those kind of tendencies, or you can just completely fall off the wagon and go right back to the things you're trying to escape from the eating disorder past. So that's just something to consider. I found that once I went raw to 4, everything just got so much better. Let's see what else. I know this sounds cheesy, but affirmations helped me big time. Huge. And I'm not one who would go in front of the mirror and say, you're beautiful, you're amazing, I accept you for who you are at this moment in time. I found that just to not work for me. And if it works for you, then that's awesome. Definitely try that out. But for me, I almost tricked myself into affirmations by, I mentioned this in another video, I would put Post-it notes on the wall for each day of the month. And I would do that ahead of time. And then for each morning, I would write like a goal, a good, exciting, like, yeah, go get 'em, girl kind of thing. Like, focus in class today, you're gonna really benefit from that, or something like it can be really small. Try to get in a 10 banana smoothie this morning, and then at night I would come back to that post-it note, and on the bottom I would write something like, congratulations, good job. And even if it was something so small as in smiling at a stranger today, or not looking down when I would walk to class, or just little things like that, I would say, awesome, good job. And if I had nothing good to say, I would still say, each day you're getting better, even if you don't realize it. Each day you're laying that brick, and eventually you're going to have an entire beautiful wall, or whatever you want to make it, or path, let's say, because a wall doesn't really sound good. Also, what helps is I wrote a letter to myself. I've also made videos to myself, which I won't even air on YouTube because they're just a little embarrassing, But just kind of talk it out. think about what really you could be in the future if you just start focusing on health. And I found that once I started to focus on health more and not obsess about losing, as much weight as possible, like it couldn't come soon enough, like that's a very sure feeling of it's never enough, it's never good enough. And then you start to really get down on yourself. So if you just kind of free yourself from that and start to being like, like it will come. Like for me, I was just saying it will happen. Like I will lose weight. You cannot possibly be fat eating fruit. Like it can't happen. So that was just in my mind. And I think the power of the human mind is really, really a strong thing. And yeah, that's just very important. Let's see what else. So if you're feeling good on this, like all around, if you're sleeping well, if you have amazing energy, if you have great mental clarity, then you're really on the right track. So don't start second guessing yourself, because you could just be that one day away from starting to see beautiful things happen. And remember, it's a very slow process. It's like watching a plant grow. If you watch it for like all day long, you're going to feel like it never grew. But if you come back, like maybe a week later, you're going to be like, whoa, that's crazy. It grew so much. So, you have to remember it's like that. You can't be like watching the paint dry, like waiting for it to happen, because it'll just feel like forever. Let's see. So give yourself that time and be patient with yourself and be kind. I messed up so many times. I relapsed, a bunch of times while I transitioned onto 80-10-10. Even like 4 months later, when I thought I was like A-okay, I, relapsed a little bit. And you just have to know that it's a process. It's your own journey. You're not competing with anyone else to, quickly lose weight. It's your own journey. And you have your whole life to lose this weight. So calm down, take it slow. Don't rush anything, because you're looking for sustainable weight loss. You're looking to sustain a happy weight in the future. All right, going down my list here. And you want to focus on other things that are important to your life. Don't just make your whole life about weight loss, because I found that just completely ruined my life. And I forgot everything else around me that was so beautiful, like my family, my friends. Like I just totally missed out on all of that when I was having eating issues, because all I cared about was weight loss. And when you start to focus on other things like family, schoolwork, and your job, and there's so many other things like hobbies and activities, fun things to do, socializing is so important. And a lot of us, who are big, computer people like me, I tend to kind of like stay, at home on my own. I don't really socialize, and I have to put myself in situations where I'm uncomfortable to make sure I socialize, because after that, I'm like, that was awesome. Why don't I do that more often? And I have to do that to this day. I have to like really force myself into a social situation, and afterwards I'm so grateful, and I had an amazing time. So there are other things in life to be focusing on. There's other things in life to put your energy on, other than obsessing about this weight loss, worrying if it's ever going to happen. People are going to love you anyway. Your family is going to love you. Your friends are going to love you. And, put all that good energy towards that and feed off of, their energies. And of course, the community online, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, all over for 80-10-10ers, for high-carb vegans, for vegans in general. It's such an amazing community. Everyone is so open and so nice. I never experienced any negativity really from a fellow vegan. It's usually, the meat eaters who are just uncomfortable with the whole situation. So just immerse yourself in some of these communities, because there's some amazing people you can meet. And some people have really just restored my faith in humanity. So it's definitely a good thing to look into and build your own community. And also 30 Bananas a Day is a great platform. I don't use it enough, but it is a wonderful place to find people who are like-minded like you. Let's see. Another thing that could be happening is that it's really not your fault at all. It's just something is going on in your body, like a vitamin deficiency that needs to be addressed and that is holding you back. So I suggest getting a blood test if you're having some issues, And go to your doctor during a physical, probably, because that would be covered under your insurance. I know, because I've messed up in the past and had to pay for a couple things. So definitely make sure go to your physical, get your blood work done, and then see your blood panel and see what's going on, because you could be deficient in B12, which is very, very important for energy, to create energy, and it helps with weight loss. And vegans are a lot more prone to B12 deficiency, even though non-vegans are definitely prone as well to B12 deficiency. So I personally take B12 shots. I find them very helpful. Freely has actually stated that she does as well, and that she feels that it helped her lose her last 10 pounds. And I feel like it helped me, but it wasn't really with weight. I felt like it just helped me lean out, get leaner. If you noticed from my first video, my face was a little bit rounder than it is now. I wasn't much heavier than I was, maybe at most like 3 or 4 pounds heavier than I am now. But I feel like the B12 just helped me distribute my weight better, just lean out. And I mean, I also started taking my B12 shots when I started to get more interested in being active. So that could also be influencing that as well. But definitely something to look into. If you live in a colder climate, especially in the winter, what about vitamin D? There's lots of other things. Let's see. Also, find an activity or workout that you enjoy, because you don't want to be doing something you hate. I hate running. I hate the elliptical. I will never do that again. Like, yeah, maybe I'll run, because that's not like the end of the world, but I will never go on the elliptical again. Never, ever. I hate it. And I used to force myself to do it all the time, trying to trick myself into thinking it was fun. If it's not fun for me, I don't do it. And that should be the same thing for you. If you don't find an activity fun, don't do it. But if you find something awesome, like Zumba, belly dancing, I like pole dancing. There's so many other things that you can run marathons, you can walk marathons, there are walking marathons where you donate for a cause. There's so many other things you can do. And also weightlifting is actually really fun, and it's amazing for your physique, especially if you're a girl. You're going to get an amazing physique if you weightlift. I need to get back into weightlifting because that helps me tremendously. And I miss having a really, really nice derriere, which is, kind of lacking right now because I'm just not squatting, I'll admit. Okay, so look into things. You can do something outside of the box. You could do I don't know, Thai bow, whatever that is, or you can do like jujitsu and Muay Thai. I used to do that. It's a great workout, amazing. And you'll probably be the only girl, or 1 or 2 or 3 girls at the gym, and all these guys are there, and that's a great way to pick up guys, from my experience. So you could do that. I love Taekwondo. That's great too. And if you're in college right now, find like a club that you can go to that is like an activity club. Like I used to do Taekwondo, I used to do boxing, and those were awesome. And also yoga club, or going to yoga classes. Those are really, really wonderful for your body, for your mind, for your spirit. Yeah, so just look into that. Find something you love that you can do all the time. That's very important. So I think that is pretty much rounds off my list. Just things to think about. I hope this helps some people. I hate seeing people so upset about, a little bit of weight gain, and sometimes it is a daunting amount of weight gain, and, it's no fun. I've been there. I gained a total of 15 pounds during my transition on to 80-10-10, but it came off, and I can't gain weight anymore. It's very hard for me to gain weight. If I'm going to gain weight, it's going to have to be really high fat food. It's going to get to the point where your metabolism is so high and running that it'll be hard to gain weight. I mean, if you really put your mind to it, it's not too hard, but it becomes really freeing to never feel like you can gain weight. And I never thought I could get to this stage, trust me. I thought I had a really slow metabolism. I just wasn't quite sure how it was going to happen, but I just dedicated my mind to, this is going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to happen. Like, I am going to be this person. and I've still every day like surpassed what I thought was possible. And that's when you're set up to build bigger and better goals, once you start to realize that you can achieve these things if you really believe in yourself and give yourself the time and the patience and just let nature take its course, really. Okay. All right. So I will see you guys later. I love you all. You guys are so great. I'm sorry I've been, a little missing in action here. My exam is coming up. I'm, just really focusing on that. But I have a lot of video ideas, so I should be definitely coming out with new videos sooner rather than later. All right. Bye, guys.